Today we are going to learn getting started with Python. And in this, we will be covering these topics. Uh, Initially, we'll start with the introduction of the getting started with Python. Then we'll be talking about the computational thinking and some pluses in Python, Python minuses as well, how you install and work in a Python, and working in the default Python distributions. Now, starting with uh, the introduction part. Python is developed by Guido van Rossum, right? And he started, implementing Python in 1989, and it was fully developed in 1991. It's a very simple programming language. So even if you are not, into the programming, you are new to the programming, you can learn Python without facing any issues. Python programming language is influenced with two basic programming languages. One is ABC. It was a teaching language created as a replacement of BASIC and Modular 3. And the most interesting fact behind the Python is that it was named after the comedy television show Monty Python's Flying Circus. It's not named after the Python snake. Now we'll be talking about the computational thinking. Computational thinking is the process of approaching a problem in a systematic manner and creating and expressing a solution such as it can be carried out by a computer. How exactly we deal with the computational thinking? Let's see that whenever you have got a problem, you always organize the data logically. Then you break the entire problem into the parts. You interpret the patterns and modules of that particular problem, or the solution related to the problem, and then you design and implement the algorithm. The next phase is to write the program, test it, debug it, and implement it. Now, there are certain pluses of Python. The first is it's easy to use, it's very expressive language, it's interpreted language, it's completeness, it's a cross-platform language, free and open source software, and a variety of uses. We'll be talking about in detail about these topics. The first one, easy to use. Python is compact and very easy to use object-oriented language with very, very simple syntax. It's very closer to the human language, okay? And thus it comes under the high-level language, right? And the most important part is that this is similar to the language which you normally speak. It's very closer to the human language, and thus it's easy to deal with. Expressive language, for example, if we just talk about in another language where you have been asked to swap two values. So what exactly you normally do? You take a third variable, you assign the first one into the third one, you assign second to the first one, you assign third to the second, and that way you basically swap the values of two variables. The basic idea is what actually, you just want to interchange the values of first and second in such a manner that first becomes second and second becomes first. That is a rough meaning of swapping the values of two variables. So that is what exactly we do in the Python. The way basically we speak it out, exactly the way we write it down in our Python languages. Here you can understand with a single statement that what exactly I'm trying to say. It's saying the value of A and B should be assigned whatever the value of B and A is, right? So B will assign its value to A will assign its value to B, okay? And finally, the value of A and B will get interchanged. And that is how you deal with the things in real life. And that's why we say that Python is very, very expressive language. The next one is, it's interpreted language. As we know that any language which is interpreted language, it deals with the code line by line, and you just need to rectify that line first if any problem is there in that particular line, and then it asks you, allows you to go to the next line. So basically it executes the code line by line at a time. It makes the Python an easy to debug language, because if you are stuck in any particular any particular line, that means you just need to rectify the error in that particular line, and then you move on to the next one, right? So if any language which has got this sort of approach, it's very suitable, for the beginners and for the advanced user as well. Its completeness, it has the entire library which is required to develop an application, for any GUI development, for any network connectivity, for any sort of web pages, databases, everything. So since everything is there, so it is also known as the battery included philosophy, or the language which has got the battery included libraries. Cross-platform language, that means it can work on any of the platform, whether it's a Macintosh, Windows, Linux, Unix, or any other one, right? The next one is a free and open source. Python language is freely available. You can download it from www.python.org, right? And you can start download it and simply work on that. Variety of users and applications. It can be used for the scripting languages, for the web applications, for the game development, for the system administration, for the rapid prototyping, GUI programs, and database applications. Now there's some minuses also of the Pythons. They are not the fastest language, lesser libraries than C, Java, Perl, and other languages, not strong binding, and not easily convertible. We'll talk about these points in details. The first is not the fastest language. Python is interpreted language. That means it executes the code line by line, and hence makes the process of compilation and execution a bit slower, right? The next one is lesser library than C, Java, and Perl. This is very true that it has got the lesser library than C, Java, and Perl, but the libraries which are there in Python, they are more than enough to develop any sort of applications. The next one is not strong on type binding. That means when you assign any value to the variable, generally in other languages, when I say a equal to 10, okay, that means the variable a is declared as of integers type, and it will only hold the value of integers type, right? But in Python it is not like that. If I say a equal to 10, on the next moment I can say a equals to 10.5, even if for the very next moment I can say a equal to Python. So that means it is not a strongly type binding. Why? Because the variable can be assigned, the same variable can be assigned with the different values. That makes this language dynamic, but on the other hand, it is not strong on type binding because it has got certain limitations as well, right? So moving on to the next one, that is not easily convertible. Generally, if any language, any application which is designed, which is designed in other languages, they can be converted into the other languages or the recent languages. But the Python is not easily convertible, right? Because of its limitations, like not the fully the complete type binding, and so many other reasons. you know it is not easily convertible. The next is the installation of Python. You just need to go to the python.org website, and as you go on this particular website, you will see this page, and here you just need to click on downloads, okay, and click on Windows, and it will show you the latest version of Python. Just click on that, download it, execute it, and you're ready to use the Python. The next one is working in the default CPython distribution. We have got two ways: working with the interactive mode and working with the script mode. Now understand the interactive mode. This is an interactive mode in which you straight away, you know, type the information and you get the results, right? For example, if you just talk about if this is uh, your Python application interface. So this initially, that screen which appears is basically an interactive language, interactive mode, right? So here I can straight away say three print, you know, I can say like, 3 plus 4. It immediately gives me the results. And I say x equal to 10, y equals to 20. If I say z equal to x plus y, and then I say print z, it will give me the results immediately. That's why it's called the interactive mode. But here actually, we do not store this entire script as a file. For that, we need to go to the other mode, which is known as script mode. And in script mode, what all you do, you simply open a new file, you write a program there, you save it, and you execute it, right? I'll just show you how exactly you deal with that. For that, you normally go with the file. You just need to click on new file, right? Now this new file is nothing but the script mode. Here you just need to write it down the programs. For example, if I say x equal to 10, y equals to 20, and if I say print z, print x plus y, let's say print x plus y, straight away it will give me the result. But when you execute it, and if the file is not being saved, it will ask you to save first. You need to save it. Let's say I just wanted to save it as, let's say, py file 1, right? Py file 1, Python file 1 I'm talking about, right? At the desktop I've saved it. Okay, and you can clearly see the result 30 here, right? I'll just close it. This is output. And if I re-execute it, because I didn't made any sort of change here, so it will straight away give me the result like this. So the next one in this is, that's all for the day.